They say love is the most mysterious emotion known to humankind, yet no one truly understands how it begins. For men, it's often visual, almost instant, a spark ignited by beauty, allure, or charm. But for women, it's different. Love doesn't crash into their hearts like lightning. It seeps in slowly, quietly, like rain soaking into the earth. You see, when a woman falls in love, she doesn't just fall for a face or a physique. She falls for how she feels in your presence. It's not about what you say. It's about what her heart whispers to her when you're near, and yet most men miss this completely. They chase women with logic when her world runs on emotion. They try to convince her with words, when what she's really listening to is the unspoken energy between you. So let's go deeper, into the psychology of female attraction. Not the surface-level tricks, but the invisible mechanisms of the heart. Because when you truly understand how women fall in love, you stop chasing and start attracting. Attraction for a woman begins with curiosity. It's that moment when she notices something different about you, a mystery she can't yet solve. Maybe it's the way you carry yourself with calm confidence, not begging for attention, not trying to prove anything. Maybe it's how you listen, not just to her words, but to her silence. In psychology, this is called selective perception. Her mind begins to notice small details, your tone, your body language, your restraint. And in those small, quiet details, her attraction begins to form. Because for women, attraction isn't born out of abundance, it's born out of wonder. She has to wonder who you are. She has to feel something that her rational mind can't explain. When everything about you is predictable, when you lay all your cards on the table, the mystery dies, and when mystery dies, so does attraction. A woman falls for a story, not the one you tell her, but the one she creates about you in her mind. That story is what keeps her awake at night, replaying your words, your gestures, your quiet moments. But here's what most men never realize. A woman doesn't fall in love with who you are. She falls in love with how you make her feel about herself when she's with you. If being around you makes her feel admired, seen, understood, you awaken something powerful inside her. Not every man can do that because most men are too focused on themselves. But the moment you create emotional safety, the kind that says you can be real here without judgment, that you become unforgettable. Psychologists call this emotional mirroring. It's when two people's emotional states start syncing. When you remain calm, confident, centered, she begins to feel that energy too. When you show genuine curiosity about her inner world, her fears, her dreams, her thoughts, she feels a rare connection. Because deep down, women are not looking for perfect men. They're looking for emotional experiences that make them feel alive. Think about this. Men fall in love with appearance. Women fall in love with atmosphere. She might be surrounded by men who compliment her, chase her, worship her, yet still feel nothing. But then one day a man walks in who doesn't try to impress her. He simply exists differently. He's not controlled by her attention, nor threatened by her silence. He doesn't need to prove his worth, he knows it, and that's when something shifts inside her. Her subconscious begins to register that this man has self-control. And self-control for a woman's psychology is one of the most powerful triggers of attraction. Because what she truly craves is emotional security. The kind that says, no matter how stormy life gets, this man won't crumble. When a man can remain calm in the face of chaos, it makes her feel safe. And safety, not excitement, is the real foundation of love. Every woman has two forces battling within her, the instinct for adventure and the instinct for safety. The first makes her crave excitement, the thrill of unpredictability, the chase, the mystery. The second makes her crave a man who can protect her heart and bring her peace. The women who seem to fall for bad boys are not actually drawn to cruelty or arrogance. They're drawn to certainty. A bad boy knows what he wants. He doesn't hesitate. He moves with clarity. And that decisiveness, that sense of I am who I am and I don't need to explain it, sends a powerful signal to her subconscious. Because while she might say she wants a kind man, what her deeper biology wants is a strong man, emotionally, mentally, and energetically. But here's where most men misunderstand the balance. Strength doesn't mean dominance, it means presence. True masculine presence is not about control, it's about awareness. It's about being grounded, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. When you have that, a woman can relax into your energy. She can open up. Because she doesn't feel like she has to lead or fix or guide. She feels like she can finally trust, and trust, that's where love begins. But trust isn't built by saying you can trust me. It's built through consistency. It's the way you handle disappointment. It's how you respond when she tests your patience or withdraws to see if you'll chase, because make no mistake, she will test you. Not out of manipulation, but instinct. A woman's emotional system is built to filter out uncertainty. When she tests you, she's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to see if your energy stays steady. If you react with anger or desperation, she feels unsafe. But if you remain composed, calm, kind, centered, she subconsciously registers, "This man can handle me. My emotions won't scare him away." And in that moment, something powerful shifts. That's when she begins to fall. A woman falls in love slowly, sometimes without even realizing it. It's in the way you look at her, not as a possession, but as a mystery you respect. It's in the way you speak, not to impress, but to understand. It's in the pauses between your words where your authenticity lives. She starts thinking about you when she's alone, not because of what you said, but because of how you made her feel. And that's where the psychology becomes poetry. Every woman's heart speaks its own language, but at its core, that language is emotion. She doesn't analyze love, she feels it. She doesn't calculate chemistry, she senses it. So the question isn't, how do I make her fall in love? The question is, can I create an emotional world she wants to return to? There's a paradox in female psychology. The more a man chases, the less she feels. The more he withdraws calmly, the more she notices. Why? Because when you chase, you communicate that she's above you, that your emotional state depends on her validation. But when you stay grounded, she begins to wonder about you again, and that wonder reignites attraction. You see, love doesn't thrive in certainty. It thrives in subtle uncertainty, in the delicate balance between comfort and curiosity. The moment she knows she has you completely, her subconscious begins to relax too much, and relaxation without mystery breeds boredom. But when you maintain emotional depth, and when you're kind but not needy, open but not exposed, you create the perfect tension. A space where she feels both safe and intrigued. That's the psychology behind sustained attraction. Maybe that's why the greatest love stories aren't about perfection. They're about polarity, masculine and feminine, calm and chaos, logic and emotion, earth and sky. Because in that dance, that endless pull between stability and spontaneity, love is born over and over again. A woman doesn't fall in love when you show her the best version of yourself. She falls in love when you allow her to feel deeply in your presence, when your silence says what words cannot. When your energy whispers, "I see you, not just your beauty, but your soul." That's when her heart begins to open. That's when her walls start to fade. That's when love, real, raw, imperfect love, begins to grow. So if you ever wonder how women fall in love, remember this. It's not through grand gestures or constant attention. It's through the small, consistent signals that say, "You're safe here, you're seen, you're understood." Because the truth is, a woman doesn't fall in love with you. She falls in love within herself, in the world your energy creates around her. And when a woman feels that, when she feels she can be both vulnerable and valued, that's when she gives you the most powerful thing she has, her heart. So don't chase her emotions. Evoke them. Don't try to impress her mind. Touch her soul. Because when you do that, love doesn't need to be forced. It simply unfolds quietly, naturally, inevitably, like rain soaking into the earth.